I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, guys. We are back with another after show for the Love and Hip Hop Miami Season 3, Episode 10, entitled Homecoming. I am your host, Tyra Prude, and I am joined to the left of me. Mr. Alfie is here with his cowboy blazer vest, whatever this is on.
It's a rodeo commercial.
It's a rodeo. It is.
I am Alfred Nolan Thomas II.
Yes, and then of course you guys know our girl Jeroslyn is also a part of our panel, but she is doing her thing in Miami right now, and she's actually going to be around a lot of the Love and Hip Hop stars.
Jealous.
So she'll be back next week to give us the spill on that.
If there's any way you can bring me back a conch fritter, it depends on how long the plane trip is.
He's from Miami, so he has all of these requests. Jeroslyn, if you see this, cool. All right, so we have a jam-packed show for you guys today. First of all, we're going to talk about this BAPS press interview that they did. Yeah. And we got to get into more about Amara. I mean, she's dealing with this breakup with Emjay. We got to talk all about that. We have to talk about Trick's blowout, saying he's quitting Love and Hip Hop Miami. And then, of course, we have to talk about the trip to the Bahamas celebrating the life of Trina's mom. Yes. But before we tap into everything, we also have our special segment, Who Brought the Heat? And we have some news and gossip and predictions for you guys. But first, let's go ahead and get into our overall thoughts. So, Alfie, what was your view on this whole episode?
I think it was a rodeo. That's why I put on, this outfit.
How fitting.
I decided to dress up for the occasion. It's one of them situations where there was the wonderful situation of remembering Trina's mother that I felt was very important to the show, just important to life. I'm not as open of a person, so it's always a pleasure to see someone who's able to allow that kind of stuff into that deep of a situation.
Yeah.
Then you have, the whole other side of the rodeo where you go into, Amara and that whole love situation, which I feel like there were some key values that people could take out of it off of relationships and partnerships and how all that plays out. That's my,
Yes.
I mean,
I thought this was a really, tough episode. It was, first of all, it was heavy. It was so much going on between, Suki and Kamillion opening up about discrimination, from Amara just trying to figure out, finding her voice. Like, does she want Emjay, or is she just letting everybody, consume her mind of what she should do? Right. And then, of course, Trina, it was a lot. But let's go ahead and just dive right into it. So let's first talk about this BAPS press interview they did in Miami at 103.5. So pretty much, they were talking about the tour that they have coming up. And then Sukiana went into detail about how she made a more radio mainstream song to fit, the audience, I guess, because she feels that she's discriminated in this industry. What are your thoughts on that? Because I was the last person to think that women in the rap industry were discriminated on. So what was your take on it?
It's a yes and no thing. I believe I've seen a lot of people who have their battles and you can't associate it with it. Like, if it's personal to you, we could be in the same situation and have this different experience. I feel that is true to an extent, but you can't necessarily stand on that.
Yeah.
And it's that can't be your end all be all. This is I don't like people who wave flags. Like at the end of the day,
you thought she was waving a flag, hey, help me,
No, not waving a flag, help me, but waving a flag this is my perspective, this is my stance. Because to each person that is unique, and that may be you, but that may not be the broad spectrum of life. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. To me, it kind of felt no shade, because I'm not in the industry, I'm not a rapper, blah blah blah. But to me, it kind of felt some celebrities have things that they have to stand on. I don't know. It felt like, this is what I'm standing on. This will give me more respect. This is my flag waving, saying I deserve more opportunities. But honestly, I don't really see a lot of discrimination in the hip hop for females. I mean, we have Nicki Minaj, we have Meg Thee Stallion, and her style is kind of like Sukiana's, but I mean, I guess Sukiana's a little more explicit. But I mean, yeah, we have the Cardi B's and stuff, but we've always had brown skinned girls. We've had Trina, we have Lil Kim. So I mean, it's like I said, it's not my shoes to fill, and I'm not saying discrediting what she feels, but I didn't know that was an issue. To me, it seems like, if anything, in the hip hop industry, brown girls are winning. You don't see too many white people or light skinned girls.
Well, I'll say this. That's true. And that's what makes it a double standard, because I feel like there are, as much as there are people who are going through a struggle, there's a lot of representations of different things out there that makes it a hard little stance to stand on, because maybe you just didn't have the right avenue, the right relationships.
Right.
There's so many things that play into
just becoming
famous or being the top notch, that you can't just make it. It's about race. It's about, because that does apply to the bottom barrels, the initiations, the weaving through the masses. There's a lot of people that look like you of all textures, but once you get to a point where you're at like Rihanna's, the Cardi B's and all these people that you're saying, like the wave of the amount of things that they've had to go through or bypass or just be blessed not to have to deal with, doesn't necessarily allow for that to be the strongest stance. Like, don't make your struggles based off of a generalization thing, because then you're associating yourself with any brown girl who there's a lot who have talent that don't. That's why they didn't make it, and then that might be the reason why you didn't make it.
I mean, I feel like when it is an underlying issue, yes, you can relate it to everyone if that's what you're saying. But I guess I personally never knew that this was. I feel like people like, when it comes to this industry, I feel like the rap industry, I feel like they like culture. They like people who gonna get you twerking, who gonna dance, regardless if you're black. Like, I mean, let's be real. Us black people, we make those bops. The others may, they may try to pick up on it and put their take on it, but at the end of the day, it comes from us. So I don't really see her really getting discriminated. But I mean, it's her story. If you are, I am so sorry, and I really want her voice to be heard. But I just thought that was a really interesting situation that they talked about.
Yeah, and I think it was very important, but it's at the same time, it's very chemistry is very intricate to who you are. She's a hood down south,
but people like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I like Sukiana. Like, I want her music. So that's why I'm just like, dang, sis, you really getting discriminated on? Because I feel like you are what the people want. We want people that we can just sit and twerk to in the club and just have a good time.
I think it's in her head. I think she wants to achieve something that may be out of the box of what she's in, and that makes it seem discriminative, because it's really another lane. It's just your lane isn't that. You the ratchet, you know what I'm saying? Talk that stuff that you talk, and you even know that you have to clean yourself up. So if you know that you have to clean yourself up, you already know you playing a certain way. You can't be like, oh, well, why I ain't make it? It's because of they different.
So you feel like it was more so like an excuse.
And that's what I don't want to say is that, because at the same time, based off of your experience, that can apply, because of however she's maneuvered. Maybe that became a boundary. For a lot of us who accept her, it's not a boundary, because we want that dark, beautiful child, or somebody who is ratchet, and it ain't got nothing to do with your color. So don't apply that just so you can act like you got a problem. To me, if you got a problem, it should be evident, and that don't seem like it's that evident.
Okay, so I'm happy I wasn't the one that was tripping on it, but like I said, this is not my situation. This is not my story. So if it is the case, I really hope that she can clear that up.
I respect
it, and we still love you, girl, on the show. But yeah, so speaking of loving people on the show, we love how you guys tune into our show every Tuesday. So Alfie, can you please let them know how we can stay tuned?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are on YouTube. This is the AfterBuzz Network by Maria Menounos, and we want you to, like us, 5 stars. We do this because we love your comments. This is journalistic profession, but it also gives you the freedom to be ourselves, love our shows, and do what we do. This is why we are the ESPN of TV talk.
Guys, I want you to know that he's memorized that so many times. I'm just playing.
No, we
No, that
talking.
was good. What he said, yes. We want you guys to tune in. We love you guys. We love the opportunities that you help us continue to have here at AfterBuzz. So with that being said, let's talk about Amara. Poor Amara. So our girl Amara is dealing with her breakup with Emjay, as you guys all know. And I kind of feel like she has a lot of people just in her head. Like, I feel like she has not had the opportunity to sit down and figure out what she wants. From her mom saying, you know, move on, it's the past. From Shay saying, why would you listen to the baby mama? With JoJo sitting there after she accused him of talking to her. And then Emjay possibly. It's just so much. What would be your advice for Amara in this situation?
If I was in her shoes, based off of what was happening, I would say, and because I care about her, and this is like, I've met her enough to know enough. I've seen this in my face, and work with her on Fall Girls, which is on Netflix. It's one of them situations where she's really trying to do the most, and that makes you the most vulnerable. And I have to say it, a lot of this is her fault. It's because of the choices you choose. No matter what you do, is the destiny.
That's really harsh, Alfie.
No, it is. Wait. Let me get to it.
Okay, I'll let you finish.
I'm going to the lighter side because
you know I love Amara.
Yeah, and it's because I love her so much that I had to be like, I negate all the, it's not her fault, she just caught up in stuff. It gets to a point where, no, the people you expose yourself to, the journey you decide to take, the kind of families, in the particular situation with MJ and Shay and how they relate, that wasn't shocking to me because she's that type of girl. He's a family-ish guy, and this is, and then it's so much. You've put yourself into so many vulnerable situations that half of this might be your reaction to too much going on. Like, I don't even think their breakup was as legitimate as it could come off, because she just went through a breakup with a manager. She got people coming to her talking crap. She got, she got the situation with her dad, the mother. All this is going back to back to back. The show is only shot but for so long. So this is, no matter what, happening back to back to back. And although it's great for TV, this is not great for life. And in the situation of she's overwhelmed, you can't blame her, but if you're in a better situation, those dynamics can be properly managed. And I think there's a lot of greatness and genuineness in those love situations with her and MJ, but it's too much right now. It's probably better for them not to be together. At the same time, he's trying to do on a guy side what he has to do to keep his woman, like the Offset situation. And I'm like, I feel that, but at the same time, she need her space. But at the same time, had he not shown up, JoJo would have been able to put more poison in the situation, and a lot of messed up people out there like JoJo who just want to enjoy your misery and then try to add to it, and then as soon as it's like, oh, he's here, and then hug the guy before he leave. You were just talking crap. Oh my God, this is California. In Miami. This is how California people rock, not the real ones. All the people that come here try to pursue their dreams. So, it's perspective to everything. I'm not a fool, and I'm not going to allow Amara to be a victim when she's not. These are choices that she made. So, unfortunately, she has to deal with, you pick a button, and whatever the result is what comes. So, move. Oh, it's just going to educate her. Hopefully this makes her more powerful. Like, the way she's moving in the world right now is ridiculous. She's on Cardi B's level on gaining momentum and possible grandiose success. So why you waver? And maybe she's wavering this right now for the public to see, but hopefully she has a double standard where she's like, this is for y'all to see, but this is what's for y'all to see.
Okay, so I strongly disagree. I mean, well, I don't disagree. You have valid points. However, I think I get it. You know what's right is right. You know what's wrong is wrong. You know that this can lead you in a different way. But It's life.
I
Life
dated trash
happens.
before, I
you
know.
fall in love with people, and you really, people are sincere, and you kind of just get put into situations, even though you know what's wrong. Sometimes you just go based off of what you feel and your heart feels. So I don't think we can necessarily say she knew what to do. She knew what she was getting herself into. Yes, she may have, but she was probably also optimistic, and I'm also a very optimistic person too. So I see how she could have got tangled in it, but like you also said, this could just be her moment. This could be her stretching moment. This could be her growing moment for her to understand, what she's going through and help her become stronger and more knowledgeable. But we cannot completely just bash her. I mean,
No, I'm not bashing her.
MJ was a great support system.
Yep.
And, he's been there for her. And I did want to kind of touch on the whole Shay confrontation thing. First of all, watch the friends that are so quick to call you the B word with any conflicts. Like, I was really kind of shook by how, they were this lovey, oh my God, I love you, Shay, I love you, blah, blah, blah. And then as soon as it hit the fan, like, oh, B, blah, 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 like going off on her. Like, I get it. Shay is, at the end of the day, she's going to have her brother's back. Cool. But it's just like, at the same time, like, this was your genuine friend also. You can't act, accordingly in that way.
It depends. If you fight with your friends, then it depends on what kind of friends you have. Like,
True.
I got friends that I could get dumped and be heartbroken. I'm around certain type of people that are like, been through thick and thin.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna laugh in my face and they're gonna pick on me.
Okay, but that's different. But it's out of love. Her calling her a B was not out of love. It was out of, you got me messed up. This is my brother. How dare you break my brother's heart? It was straight, I'm not messing with you and I want you to hurt. It was not coming from a place of, get over it. He's like, it was coming from a really mean place. And I feel like as a friend, if I really love you, regardless of our disagreement, I'm not going to call you out of your name, and I'm not going to comment on how you look. She said something about how she looked, and I'm just like, what? This is your friend. Unless that's how she is when she's angry, but I feel like you still, I don't know, with certain people that you truly care about, you wouldn't say certain things.
I give you that because that is extra. But at the same time, I would rather appreciate a friend like Shay who will punch you in the face than a friend like JoJo who does the sneaky stuff.
Yeah. But it's levels to this.
She's white and black. Like, you gotta give Shay white and black because.
Well, true. You did say that. We've talked about that.
She's very lineage to her family, so it's cut and dry how she chippers down.
How she moves.
And if you do something again, like, she should have known what was going to happen or how Shay would have felt. And then being that a person who is just authentic, and I'm sorry if you can't take it. I'm sorry if I'm too rough for you. But at least I'm giving you exactly, I'm on this page, I'm off this page, I'm mad or I'm happy. Mm-hmm. With her, you can work around because it's authentic. And the things she said about her brother were never like malicious. Like, when it comes to her situation with Amara, you could tell she's a rough person, but she actually cares about her.
She does, and she, like you said, she really did try and just had to bring it to her. Like, I can't believe that you would let an old female. I get it. And you know what? Like you said, maybe she is a black and white person, and maybe you just changed my perspective. Maybe that's just how she is. However, if I was a friend, I would be like, look, I understand that you love me, and I know this is how you express your anger, but maybe let's try to tone it down, because you calling me a B, it would make me really question, like, my relationship with you.
But that's where Amara went wrong, because Amara didn't do that. She decided to antagonize the situation and be like, I'm gonna do whatever with your brother, or just even being in a position where you understand that this is Shay. You understand that you broke up with a brother. This is not like.
But she didn't bring it up. Shay brought it up, right?
No, Amara brought it up.
Are you sure?
No, she said she didn't want to talk, and as the things she decided to open up about the situation.
I can't. Okay. In the comments, let us know who started the conversation. But I strongly feel like it was Shay, because Amara kept saying, what the heck? I came here for a relaxation day. I don't want to talk about it.
No, that was after she started it.
Maybe. Okay, let us confirm in the comments, because I don't remember.
I know I'm right, but it's okay.
But, I mean, even piggybacking up on that whole situation, like, I also feel like, it's a build-up. We know Amara has had these feelings, and this whole situation was kind of just like the peak of what had already been going on. However, where I didn't agree with Shay, like, cool, I get it, like, you shouldn't let a female come in, blah, 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 but I didn't agree with Shay with what she said when she was like, you know, my brother put his career to the side to help yours. That's when I was like, okay,
Yeah,
like,
you're
regardless,
right.
he, like Amara said, he is a grown man, and he chose to do that, and that's not my fault, and
Exactly.
he could have been pursuing his career along with supporting mine. We could have
Exactly.
been supporting each other.
Which
So it's
is
just a
what we
whole
talked
tangled
about, 'cause
mess.
that's-
As you see, we're rambling, like, it's a lot.
No, I mean, but in the sense of when we were like that management situation, instead of just being in Amara's face and just like being in her face, like you could do other things to show your worth.
Like Jerazim said last week, like, why don't you go manage another artist and then do your thing from there?
Exactly.
Oh, it's just such a sticky situation. I mean,
Application. Everything is application.
Well-
Which is why I think this is so important, because it's like finesse. It's chemistry. It's not necessarily right or wrongs. And I feel like a lot of people have justifications that they can stand on. Even all the way Amara can feel totally right. But there's a lot of points where had she had gone about it a different way, she wouldn't have the situations going on, right or wrong.
Yeah. Well, Amara and MJ seem like they may be trying to do something in the end of the whole fight. You know, he came in with flowers, first of all, just surprised her. And, you know, they talked it out. And he, well, clearly it was a good move for him because they're not back together. She said that she wanted a break. And he pretty much was just like, you know, I'm here for you. Like, I will be here for you. And that's that. So, I don't know.
Well, we'll see. It's a wavering thing. I think everybody, when it comes to relationships, can learn from this situation. When it comes to somebody that's intense, or if you're intense, and how that may save a situation. Because JoJo really was a bad situation. They walked in and saved some stuff, but I don't think he made the right decision by always like popping up. That's very stalkerish, very scary.
Well, okay, to be fair, Shay told them where they were going. He had already knew. So it wasn't necessarily he been watching her. He had got the word from Shay.
Well, yeah, but still popping up is like scary for a woman.
It low-key is
so
scary.
The way
it is creepy. I do not recommend at all. But yeah, so what we don't recommend is sharing people's mugshots without their approval. And that is exactly why Trick blew up at the Love and Hip Hop team, because Joy comes in to talk to him. She's like, I ain't heard from Chick. I'm trying to see what's going on. We about to go on this Bahamas trip. And then boom, she walks in with the camera crew and Trick like flips out. What was your, like, how did you... I'm gonna let you just take this one,
but
I'll join it.
Just be real. I mean, in a sense, it looked for his position like they were trying to play him. I mean, a lot of things when it comes to the show and how they do things and what they decide to put on the network is like everybody's seen the mugshot, and the mugshot was going around, and his situation is something that he can't hide from. So let's not give him like too much on the whole
like
privacy thing.
Regardless, it was gonna get out. The blogs were gonna get it regardless. So that's why I just really didn't understand why he blew up on them like that.
It was more how they played him. Like yeah, they could put it out, and maybe it could be a component of the show, but don't have my mugshot on the show. Don't make it a moment where they do the calls and all that. You know, that was staged. That wasn't like authentically right there. So
like, don't exploit it. Like, it's already out there. You can mention it, but, or I don't know.
Like, respect
Did
me.
we miss an underlining situation with that? Like, I feel like it's something that we didn't get. Like, yeah, they showed the mugshot, but did we get the discussion of him saying not show it, or like, it was a missing piece to that. I was really confused.
I don't think that needs to be. He's above 50. He's a grown he's a grown man, and in any situation of going to jail, in any situation, you want that minimized. And in the sense of, I know it's Love and Hip Hop, it's all about that stuff, but they had plenty of storyline to where he was justified on how he felt. You're part of the show, so I mean, at the end of the day, Trick Daddy is out there no matter what, if you want to do devil's advocate. But at the same time, I respect a man who's at a certain age. It'd be one thing if he was in his teens or in his 20s. This is somebody, you know, plus 40, plus 50. So you talk about, give this guy the credit.
I get it, but I also feel like that's what you sign up for when you do shows like Love and Hip Hop or
and
any
drink
reality
and
show.
Smoke and all this stuff happens in your life. It's going to be out there. You're going to be embarrassed.
I feel like that's bound to happen, and I don't understand why he was shocked about it. That's why I'm saying I don't know if we missed it again in the comments. Let me know. But I don't know what caused him to flip out. Like, what did they do so bad that disrespected him? And then also, I kind of feel like this is one of those moments to kind of prove that it's a reality TV show, because you know sometimes you see things and it seems scripted. Hence, like how you said the whole him on his phone, like I got arrested, blah blah blah. Like that was like
no, that one particular situation.
Okay, but when they were all like, where Trick at, blah blah blah, that was all pieced together for that.
But that's why he was so mad. That was the reality of doing something like that. Like once you see people staging events of something that happened to you, whether it was a car accident, like who knows, like anything real happens.
But I even felt like that
scene
was staged because, first of all, when he opened the door to let Joy in, you saw all them cameras behind her. Like he waited until she got her foot in the door to be like, what are they doing here?
Because
like, you
she
saw
doesn't have
her.
a storyline, and that may be her bringing them to him and all that stuff.
But what I'm saying is, it was
that.
such a lagged reaction, a late reaction, and I'm just like, is this real? I don't know.
Nah, that's real. I know Miami people, and when we get mad and we be like popping off, and we be like, you better get out here for, saying something go down or all that. He's trying to help. That was him trying to be politically correct. Like, I know what he wanted to say because I've been in them situations.
This whole season, since the mugshot, he has been saying like, okay, I'm trying to stay clear. Like, I'm trying to stay clear. Don't bring it up to me. Blah blah blah. I get it. So that's why I just need more. I need more insight. Please give us more insight in the comments if you know what really happened, because I don't remember. I don't remember them saying on the show, I told them not to air my mugshot. I just remember them, or I don't know, maybe it happened later.
Don't have to tell them.
I guess he didn't have to.
It's like, why would you do that to me? If I'm like it's a brand. So if I'm on your brand and I go through something, usually they don't try to, it was the whole hairline thing. It was a lot going on.
So he was more so embarrassed.
Like if he was looking good on it, I'm sure he wouldn't care. But it's one of them things where it's like, he's at a certain age where it's not easy to take people talking crap. Like if you're young and you feel like I could grow up. No, he's at where he's at. So if you picking on him, or like one, he ain't gonna be able to respond the way he really want to respond to you.
Yeah.
So if he can't respond to it, he definitely don't want you, blasting him off. And then he's a part of the show. Again, they did extras on this to kind of try to package that situation, which is, producer-wise acceptable. But when it comes to people-wise, you got to understand that you may get somebody in their feelings if it's something that's embarrassing or something that's like out there that they don't want to be, broadcast. Like he's not, I'm sure he's not ashamed of it. He's been in jail plenty of times. He said it. Yeah. But it's one of those situations where I don't want me going to jail being like a forefront for you.
For our show.
I'm not a fool.
I mean, I get it. And first of all, I'm happy that Trick did not decide to leave the show. Yeah. We saw that he, pulled it together for Trina and he visited her in the Bahamas. So thank you, Trick. And let's go ahead and just get into that. Yeah. So we are in the Bahamas, okay? We're here. Trina is celebrating the life of her mom. We have this family reunion, this whole thing. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that was a very, peaceful and good way to celebrate her mom's life?
Oh,
after the whole,
it was,
passing.
If you want to be honest, the most amazing thing. Again, it goes to the being able to be vulnerable and put your family situations out there, or any kind of element that's like, open-hearted. It's not hard. It's not easy to do. And, I'm from the Bahamas as well. So.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow, you are like, are you going to be on Love and Hip Hop Miami next at this point?
No, well, I'm just a nice guy who's associated with
Mona,
a lot
he wants
of
a job. He can relate to the Love and Hip Hop world.
But at the same time, I'm from the Bahamas, a descendant. I'm from Miami, Florida as well. So I grew up around a lot of this stuff, and having family from there, being able to be connected to your roots, being able to know what your roots are is such a hard thing for African American in general. Mm-hmm. So being that she's connected to her roots and that she knows where her mom, grew up, or she knows where her mom, has a soul beat, and being able to, be around there, bring family, know how important it is to, reconnect and the way, her stepfather died and all these elements to
Oh,
her
that's what made it even
backstory.
more heavy. Like, wow, not only did she lose her mother, to find out that she lost her stepdad, the father figure in her life, to such a traumatic, incident. It was just like, dang, Trina just cannot. She like, where is her silver lining at this point? Because she just needs peace. She just needs a peace of mind.
It says to the epitome of how beautiful a person she is.
Yeah.
Like hardworking, smart, very diplomatic, very cordial, very, like cares for people. The way she goes about herself is like that kind of woman that you would hopefully strive for, in a sense of like she's an empowered woman and can handle and move through a lot of storms that the average being can't. So I grew up, I've seen her when she first came out, and I was in high school, middle school, watching her do her thing. So it's very interesting to see how that's developed. And just like Amara, like a veteran Amara, but at the same time, there's a lot of strong, dope women that are the type of women that you want to strive for in this particular series of show. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Trina, I'm happy that she was able to go home.
Yeah.
I'm happy that she was able to, bring her mother with her also.
That was a little
she brought
extra,
her
though.
remains. It was not extra. They fulfilled her mom's promise. She said before she passed, she wanted to go back home and see her family and stuff. So I thought it was beautiful.
Shot it differently though. The way they presented it in the situation of that was awkward and weird.
If it was, I feel like it was that's kind of personal and sacred. So I wouldn't just like pull it out of the bag like, here she goes.
And talking to Bobby, I was like, I thought it was not. That was maybe the one I'll say. I would have shot that differently if I was on the producer team. I would have been like,
at least made it more
let
respectful.
That joy and Trina have
their moment, or her like in the room looking at the, and just like wow, I'm happy we were able to bring mom here.
Although the show is shot really great, I haven't had a complaint about shooting things yet until this, only because it's an urn. It's a situation where Bobby has so much drama attached to him, and I wasn't necessarily feeling that scene of talking about that with him and Joy.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Just to be honest,
be honest. Share your opinion.
I want to care. So in a sense of, I think that wasn't as tasteful, only because Joy. I think everybody's super attached to them all, so I'm not discrediting that, but making it not Trina and her mom took away. Yeah,
it could have just been a different approach.
Yeah,
but it was still, but they were all still connected with her in some way.
It wasn't bad,
so
but it wasn't good.
Yeah,
it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good.
Yeah,
and that should have been good with the urn and bringing it out.
Yeah,
it could have been a heck of
well, speaking of things good, let's go ahead and get into our special segment. We're going to talk about who brought the Miami heat, whether it was good or bad, whatever. Let's go ahead and talk about who on the show brought the heat this episode.
So for me, who brought the heat, I'm gonna give it to Shay.
To Shay. Interesting. Are you trying to give us a little spin?
Only because I know it looks really dark on this episode based off of Shay had to defend her brother and be in a situation with Amara, because I really feel Amara and Shay had a really great relationship. Had it been nothing for the Emjay situation, they would have just been the best ride or dies, which I think Amara needs. And JoJo showed me she's
JoJo showed us that she's gonna, some stuff it's stirring. The pot is stirring.
She's a stir potter. So Shay brought the thing because she stood on the ground, and yes, she might go out as like not the greatest person in this. She's the greatest person to me.
Beautiful. Okay. Who brought the Miami heat for me? I'm going to say Amara's mom. Because regardless of what happens, she still holds it down, and she's that tough love that you need. And yes, Amara may not agree. Maybe she could be a little too hard on her, but I love how she keeps it straightforward with Amara. Like, Amara low-key almost had a little breakdown with her too, and she's just like, that's the past. You need to move on. You have other things to focus on. So I really love how her mom, is just there for her. So
always, I wish.
And I also
my
think
mom was like that, so I ain't tripping.
Yes, I also think Hood Brad brought the heat too because she confronted her supposed man for being married. So you brought the heat, girl, for bringing it to light and letting him know that you are the only one. Period. We not working it out unless you leave her. Boom.
I'm gonna say one thing. He was messed up. There's a lot of guys out there like that. The way he tried to maneuver around that. Pay attention.
Ladies, do your research, okay?
A lying guy.
You got it. When you meet a guy, you have to check the
What you
Instagram.
talking
You
about?
have to check the
And that wasn't even
Facebook.
nothing.
That's where all it is. That's where all the
That
tag
wasn't even
photos
nothing.
are. That's where you know if they're still in a relationship status. Granted, he told her they weren't, but she could have found some wedding pictures somewhere. Probably she could have found them.
Bruh. I'm just saying.
So
you
I
already
think
know.
she brought the heat too. She let him know straight up. So, of course, in typical AfterBuzz news fashion, we have to get you guys updated on what's going on in the love and hip hop world. So, with that being said, it is now time for our news segment. So, okay. We all know when it comes to love and hip hop, what we look forward to most is the reunion specials. And I am here to tell you that we have a new host for the reunion special. So we all know that it was originally Nina Parker, and now we actually have someone else filling in for her. Well, not filling in, she's a permanent role now, and it is Miss Claudia Jordan. She is the new reunion host for the Love and Hip Hop franchise.
That's my dog.
Yes. So, if you guys aren't familiar with Claudia, she is known for being on Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was on Celebrity Apprentice, and she's kind of did a little bit of reality TV. She's done some radio hosting also, and now she is taking on the challenge of untangling all of that drama between everybody at Love and Hip Hop. So I'm really interested in seeing how this goes. She also has a show on the streaming service, Fox Soul called Out Loud with Claudia Jordan. She's doing her thing, and I'm excited to see her, in this light. And actually, in this photo that we just shared, she is actually at the Love and Hip Hop Miami reunion. They already started filming it. So we're getting ready to get a little bit of insight on our girl, soon, and what really went down and, later on. So
she's going to do an amazing job. I choreographed a movie called How High that she played a role in.
Really?
So
Alfie is booked and busy, okay?
I be doing my thing. So in the sense of this particular woman, she is into the gossip gang. She is a beautiful version of a Wendy Williams type character.
She kind of gives me Lala Anthony vibes.
She gives you everything.
This ponytail gives me Lala Anthony vibes.
She's a gang gangster.
Well, we are excited for you, Claudia, and we look forward to seeing the reunion. Now, with that being said, we look forward to seeing what happens next. So what are your predictions for next week's episode?
Man, my dog getting in there. My honest predictions is, I hate to say it, but that thing ain't gonna work out with Amara and Emjay at all.
Really?
It's not gonna be him or her. It's just gonna be a timing thing, and I feel like maybe they'll get back together later on in life. But I feel like right now, everything that's going on is gonna make her not be the true her that would handle a situation, and because of that, I mean, he needs to focus on himself and actually have a leg to stand on so that these things that are coming in don't apply.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. My prediction is that, what is my prediction? My prediction is she's stirring up something. She has been out and she's joined this cast and we haven't seen her in a while. I think she's going to come back, and her and Prima Donna are getting ready to, something's about to happen because she's been too quiet. So that's my prediction. It's not shown yet, but I am seeing Jocelyn in the future coming hard to finish this season strong with all the madness.
And if Hood Rat could find a storyline, she ain't going to stay with that dude.
Oh, gosh.
But if she can't, she gonna give him a chance. I swear she working out without a storyline. She gonna work that thing out.
Oh, my God. Well, guys, that is all for this week's after show. Where can we find you on social media?
Alfred Nolan Thomas 2. Gmail, IGs, you know what I'm saying?
So you guys can find me on Instagram at Tyra Prude Official, and you can find me also on Twitter at Tyra Prude. We enjoyed you guys and hope you enjoyed us. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Gang, gang, what?
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.